Today I'm working on block number 2 of the 2022 Riley Blake Designs Block Challenge. Block number 2 is called Sweetheart and it's designed by Beverly McCullough. I think I forgot to mention last week that this is a free quilt along and you can go and download these block patterns on the Riley Blake blog, and I'm going to leave links in the description below. So I cut and prepped my fabric off camera, but I want to mention a couple things that I modified before I get started. For my AH, AK, and CM half square triangles, I decided that I'm going to use some half square triangle paper. I used it in my laundry basket quilts mystery quilt last year, and I just really like it, but it's completely optional. Because I'm working from scraps, my J and E pieces are 2 medium strips instead of 1 long strip. I've gone ahead and marked all the diagonal lines for F, G, and L with my sew line pencils. I used the pink lead for this dark fabric here and my gray lead for the light fabric. And finally, you're going to see me doing just a little bit of glue basting, and it's completely unnecessary. I'm just going to be doing it for convenience. I'm going to start with the heart because why not? I'm going to build this side by side again because I'm making mirror images. I'm going to need my I, G, and F pieces. And I'm going to align them. This is going to be the point of the heart. Mirror image. And then I'm just going to do 1 F piece for now because the seams overlap. So I'll take it to the machine and sew here and here. And I'm not going to add this second piece until I've cut and pressed all of this. But this is where I'm going to do just a tiny bit of glue basting. I'm going to line up my corners nice and straight, and I'm going to dab just a little bit right there. Nothing crazy. I just don't want it to move around at my machine. And it's barely going to do anything. It's just purely for convenience. I just realized I need to take that sticker off or it's going to get in the seam. So I'm going to line up this corner, and again, I'm going to just place a little bit of glue right there. I don't want it to get into my seam allowance though. So just over here in the corner. And I'm going to do that for both sides. After I've glue basted, I'm going to stack them up and set them aside. I'm going to make strip sets with my J and my E pieces. And you might notice that my E pieces are a little shorter. It's just because I know I'm going to subcut and I don't need all of this length. So the extra bit is just going to end up being cut off. And finally, I'm going to combine my B pieces with my L pieces. So I don't know if you can see that pink line, but I'm going to line them up like so. So that the diagonal line is going up and down. And I'm going to do a little more glue basting with this unit too. I'm going to combine all these B and L pieces, and then I can take everything I've prepared to the sewing machine. I think I'm going to start with my half square triangles. Here's a little bit of a closer look. I'm going to be stitching on the dotted lines, and then when I'm done, I'm going to cut on the solid lines. And before I start, I'm going to shorten my seam length just a little bit to make it easier to rip the papers out later on. I'm going to cut the rest of these out, and then I'm going to take them to the pressing mat and press them nice and flat, and then I'll rip off that paper. I was just taking a look at how my block is coming together, and I'm really not liking these pink half square triangles. I think I'm going to go through my scraps and find a different color to put there. And then I'll just set these aside, maybe I can use them later on. I've remade my CM half square triangle units, and now I'm ready to move on. I think I'll start with the heart. So I'm going to add the last 2 F pieces and use a little bit of glue to stick that down. Next, I'm going to take my 2 JE pieces and my 4 CM triangles and arrange them like so. I'm going to sew these seams here. And lastly, I'm going to work on my half square triangle unit. I'm going to have 1 AH, 2 AKs, and 1 D square. So I'm going to sew it into 4 patch, and I'm going to make 4 patches. I'm going to finish up my heart and my 4 patches real quick, and then I'm going to move on. Real quick reminder, don't forget to square up these little blocks. Mine were a mess, so they really needed it. And I just used this Creative Grids square up ruler. It has this nice line here, and you just line up that diagonal line with the ruler, and you cut and you turn and you cut and you turn until you've got the size block that you need. I really highly recommend this little ruler because seriously, these were a mess. They look so much better now. Okay, let's finish this center. I'm just going to sew on these 2 strip pieces, and then after I've pressed, I'm going to sew on the top and the bottom piece, and then the center of our block is done. Okay, time to put it all together. So we're gonna sew left, 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 then right, 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 top, bottom. I'm gonna sew this all together off camera, so let's go ahead and skip to that final block. There we go, block 2 is done, and it's pretty cute. I really like it. The half square triangles were a little fiddly and a little messy at times, but you know what? They're cute. Block 3 comes out next Tuesday, and I can't wait to see what it is. I'll see you then. Bye!